We are a loving faction with the Galactic Federation of Light, devoted to the elevation of human consciousness on planet Earth. And we come in peace. We wish to address something that is becoming increasingly important as your collective consciousness evolves, and as many of you begin to recognize the difference between destruction and creation, between dismantling and building, between leaving and arriving. This distinction is essential now because your world is full of voices, some of which serve the ending of old patterns, and some of which serve the beginning of new ones. And these are not always the same voices. Many of you have been following teachers, researchers, leaders, activists, and changemakers who have helped you see through the illusions of third-dimensional consciousness. They have shown you corruption where you once saw order. They have revealed manipulation where you once assumed benevolence. They have exposed systems that extract rather than nourish. They have named the mechanisms of control that keep populations passive, fearful, and divided. And this work has been necessary, deeply necessary. Without these voices, many of you would still be asleep to the ways power operates, the ways consent is manufactured, the ways truth is distorted, and the ways your attention, your energy, and your sovereignty have been harvested. These disruptors have served an essential role in the awakening process. They have been the alarm that woke you from a dream you did not know you were dreaming. But we invite you now to notice something with great clarity and without judgment. The skills required to dismantle are not the same skills required to build. The frequency that tears down is not the frequency that creates. And the consciousness that sees what is wrong is not automatically the consciousness that knows what is right. This is not a criticism. It is a recognition of function. Your planet needs both. It needs those who will shake the foundations of corrupt systems, and it needs those who will plant the seeds of coherent ones. It needs those who will expose the lie, and it needs those who will embody the truth. It needs those who will shout, and it needs those who will stabilize. But these are often different people operating from different frequencies. And what we are inviting you to understand is that as you evolve, you must also evolve your discernment about who you follow, who you trust, and who you allow to guide your attention as you move from the ending of one paradigm into the beginning of another. The function of the disruptor. Let us speak plainly about what we call the disruptor frequency. This is the consciousness that is attuned to seeing patterns of harm, injustice, deception, and control. It is often sharp, analytical, investigative, and relentless. It does not accept surface explanations. It questions authority. It challenges narratives. It digs beneath official stories. It refuses to be gaslit. And it will not be silenced. This frequency is highly valuable during the phase of awakening, when the collective is still largely hypnotized by consensus reality. The disruptor breaks the trance. They provide evidence. They connect dots. They reveal agendas. They name the game. And in doing so, they give people permission to trust their own instincts, their own observations, their own sense that something has been deeply wrong. Many of the teachers, researchers, and leaders you have followed over recent years have operated primarily from this frequency. They have been tireless in their exposure of corruption in government, in media, in medicine, in finance, in technology, in education, and in spiritual systems themselves. They have shown you that the world you were taught to believe in was often a carefully constructed illusion designed to keep you compliant, divided, and disempowered. And you needed this. You needed to wake up to the game before you could stop playing it. You needed to see the cage before you could leave it. You needed to recognize manipulation before you could reclaim your sovereignty. But here's what we invite you to notice. The disruptor frequency, by its very nature, is oriented toward what is wrong. It is fueled by outrage, by urgency, by the need to expose, to warn, to prevent, to fight. And while this energy can be a powerful catalyst for change, it is not a sustainable foundation for creation. It is not the frequency of fifth-dimensional consciousness. Fifth-dimensional consciousness is not focused on what is collapsing. It is focused on what is emerging. It is not fueled by fear of control. It is fueled by remembrance of sovereignty. It is not organized around resistance. It is organized around resonance. It does not build its identity on being against. It builds its presence on being for. And this is the shift many of you are now being asked to make. Why the disruptor often cannot lead you forward. We want to be clear about this because it can be confusing and even painful when you begin to notice that the voices who once felt like liberation now feel like limitation. The teachers who woke you up may not be the ones who help you stabilize. The researchers who opened your eyes may not be the ones who open your heart. The leaders who fought the old system may not be the ones who build the new one. And the reason is simple. If someone's primary orientation is toward exposing corruption, their attention will always return to corruption. If their identity is built on being the one who reveals the hidden, they will continue seeking the hidden. If their nervous system is calibrated to detect threat, they will continue finding threat. And their audience, their platform, their purpose, and their livelihood may all become dependent on maintaining that frequency. This is not to say that they are insincere. Many of them are deeply sincere. But sincerity does not change the fact that the frequency of constant vigilance, constant suspicion, constant alarm is not the frequency of coherence, creation, or peace. It is a warrior frequency. And warriors are essential during certain phases of transition. But once the old structure has been sufficiently disrupted, the warrior frequency must either evolve or step aside so that the builders can begin their work. You may notice this in subtle ways. You may notice that certain voices who once felt empowering now feel draining. That the constant stream of new revelations, new threats, new fears, new enemies begins to feel less like information and more like stimulation. That the communities built around exposing darkness become strangely dependent on darkness continuing. That the research becomes circular, chasing new villains, new plots, new timelines, but never quite arriving at a place of resolution, rest, or forward movement. You may also notice that when solutions are offered, they are often framed in terms of opposition. The solution is to resist, to refuse, to protest, to avoid, to prepare for collapse, to separate from the system. And while these responses can be appropriate in certain contexts, they are not generative. They do not build. They withdraw. They fortify. They defend. And a consciousness that is perpetually in defense mode is not a consciousness that can create the new earth. Fifth-dimensional consciousness does not wait for the old system to collapse before it begins building. It builds now. It creates now. It collaborates now. It operates from trust rather than fear. It chooses coherence rather than chaos. And it understands that what you give your attention to becomes your reality. The era of conspiracy theories as your primary lens is ending. Not because the truth has been fully revealed, but because you no longer need external validation to know what is true. The era of looking for saviors is ending, because you are remembering that the guide you have been seeking is already within you. And the new earth is beginning because enough of you are choosing to live as though the new one is already here. Through your coherence, through your kindness, through your creativity, through your courage, through your love. We are with you as witnesses, not as authorities, and we celebrate the sovereignty that is stabilizing within you now. The light that has always been within you is ready to build, and the new earth is waiting for your hands, your heart, and your willingness to begin.
Thank you for listening to this transmission. We invite you to take a look at gflacademy.com for more in-depth and galactic content. We wish you peace, love, and happiness. And until next time.